putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
There is a fake media out there. I get treated very unfairly by the media, and I have a tremendous platform. I think I have 125 million people between Twitter and Instagram and all of them, and Facebook. I have a tremendous platform. So when somebody says something about me, I'm able to go bing, 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 and I take care of it. The other way, I'd never be able to get the word out.
Bing, bing, bing. Welcome back, everybody. It's funny. It's fun to watch the president do what he does. And prior to him becoming president, when Donald Trump was just Donald Trump, the billionaire mogul, it was fun to watch him tweet. And I know I've talked to people to this day. They say, Kevin, they are now going, you know what? The tweeting's important. But here's the next phase. Yeah, but now he tweets on a lot of things that seem inconsequential. And I go, I keep coming back. I go, I disagree. Inconsequential would have been the NFL, the kneelers. He could have easily let that go, but he didn't. And you know what it did? It drew people to the idea of what's happening in business in general. Not just the NFL, but what social justice warrioring is doing to business in general. He's straightening out the business community by doing that. I talk about that. How these things that seem inconsequential are big. They're not little. Harvey Weinstein. People, Kevin, why are you talking about Harvey Weinstein? I told her it's not inconsequential. It's huge. This is the type of thing that when somebody brings it to the attention, you have to understand the bigger implications around the war on women, how leftist men treat women, and all the things that they reflect back on us that really are the left's problems. If you can't see that, you're not a strategist, and you just need to get out of the game and let the big boys do what we do. Because these are huge things. Donald Trump tweeted about John McCain a year and a half ago, saying he's a hero who got caught, and you're giving him way too much credit. And that's essentially what he was saying. And now it's coming back. And guess who's going to lose? McCain's going to lose in this. McCain wants to criticize. He criticizes a guy who is in less than, didn't even take a month. He'd already done more than positive for the nation than Barack Obama could do in 2 lifetimes. And they're criticizing him. His own Republican Party. He criticized that. And I keep coming back to these. Okay, so the other one, he criticized this lady, Frederica Wilson. How many people dare challenge the Congressional Black Circus? How many? Did George Bush challenge him? No, he nuzzled up to him. He wants to be everybody's friend. Donald Trump's like, look, we're not racist. I'm not racist. This country's not racist. I'm not going to treat you like a special interest group. I'm going to treat you like the piece of crap that you are, Frederica Wilson, for daring to try to make hay from the death of a Green Beret. And the majority of America goes, I get it. The majority of America gets when Donald Trump says, I'm not believing your hype against the cops, you young black thuglites in the NFL. And I think you should stand for the anthem and not be making a spectacle of yourselves in the NFL. And he's right. What are you talking about? I know this man is right on that. So when he tweets, oh, Kevin, he tweeted on something really silly. Is it really silly? I want you to think about this. This is a man who, look, it's not about money, but it's about what you do with your time. This is a dude who's made himself into a billionaire. You don't do that without focus. You know where to put your energy. And he puts his energy in something, and the first thing that the people that don't even have 2 nickels to rub together do is go, I think it's a crazy thing he's doing now. I don't understand it. You're right. You don't understand it. You don't know what you don't know. So you come here and I give you some tough love and tell you, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's good for you just to sit something out because you don't know. The NFL tackling that is masterful. We're in week 7, and in week 7, another Sunday. Have you seen the empty stadiums around this country? Half empty stadiums. It's getting worse week after week. We started chronicling the stadiums. Did I say stations or stadiums? I meant stadiums if I said stations. Stadiums. We started chronicling them, a couple weeks ago, saying send us these stadium pics if you're going to the game. And people would send the pics and go, look at this, look at this, look at this. So it's not only the ratings dropping on TV, these stadiums are beginning to empty out. We posted something that it showed every athlete in week 7 who's done something, like raised his fist, took a knee, did whatever, goofed off on the sideline, didn't come out. We have a website, a web post dedicated to this week and who did what. And let me tell you, every week that they continue this nonsense, every week that Roger Goodell allows this to happen, the league gets weaker and weaker and weaker, to the point where I saw a story, I didn't read it, but it said Jerry Jones and other owners blame Anthem issue for, falling ratings. They finally are like, okay, this is hurting us. And I only saw the first bit, but I will presume that the next phase of it is Roger Goodell is going to have to address this. And it isn't going to be, we're going to let the NFL players decide what they want to do for themselves. The NBA took a stance and said, you're going to stand. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even care. I don't care what happens to these stooges. I personally would love to see them have to go back and make regular money. I want to see all these guys have to go get a regular job. I want to see them relive sports like the old days, where guys would come off the field at the end of the season. They'd say, shake hands, give out a trophy. Maybe they didn't even play the championship game because that just started, during the Lombardi era. They shook hands. That was the end, and they went back to work. They were like the founding fathers. They met. It cost them money. They did what they did, and they went back and hoped that the wife was able to keep the family farm working. This is back when we used to have lots of kids because we knew we needed people to work. And before the Democrats started bringing over slaves. So Trump is tackling an issue that week to week you get to watch it play out. See, that's the other thing. This is like a reality show. One of these, Big Brother or one of the island, somebody's off the island. And every week, Donald Trump he runs the show. And he gets to kick somebody off the island. And every week, the NFL loses a little bit more of itself. And in by the end of this season, they won't even recognize themselves. And let me tell you something, folks. If you're smart enough to not watch the Super Bowl, you watch what happens to the NFL next year. But more importantly, watch what happens to business. See, businesses are watching the NFL. Companies like Target, Walmart, and all these bleeding heart liberal companies that have succumbed to leftism for decades. They're watching this. And they're going, how's this going to shake out? And every week you watch them, they're going, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Here's something interesting about the NFL. A guy on CBS wrote a piece, and he says it's not just Donald Trump's attack of the NFL and the anthem. He says it's the product. He says the NFL is giving an inferior product. Well, I want you to think about the NFL and its manufacturing process, okay? The NFL for years was mostly white. And then it slowly became infused with blacks. And now the NFL is 70% black. And you know what the guy said at CBS? It's an inferior product. Isn't that racist? You know why the NFL is an inferior product? It isn't because these athletes aren't better. The athletes jump higher, run faster, and are stronger than any of their predecessors. From years ago, when the field was dominated with white boys with these helmets on that had no face mask. The product has gotten certainly better product. The raw materials are much better in the product now. Wouldn't you agree? I think you would. So if the raw material is better, why isn't it a better product? It's because the raw material is flawed. As good as it is, it's flawed. And we're now beginning to see it. See, we're seeing the social media, the social justice impact, not social media, but maybe to a degree, but the social justice impact on sports. Bunch of big babies. They got more protection than any white dude ever before them in the past. You watch those old black and white films, go look at them. These guys got shoulder pads the size of they look like gorillas wearing these things. they can't hit in certain ways anymore and yada yada. No crackbacks, no this. You can't drag the person down by the face mask, this, that, which I don't disagree with. Many of the things they've done, I don't disagree with. But many of the things they've done, they've ruined the sport. And the biggest way they've ruined the sport is they've allowed the product to now say, we're going to dictate how this sport goes. We're going to, determine when we take a knee and what we stand for. And that's what's ruining this sport.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.